Hi everyone, I'm Nadège from DaVinci Labs. And DaVinci Labs is a startup incubator that is leading the consortium SynBio, that aims to boost the synthetic biology European ecosystem. I'm here today to present to you what you can expect from a startup incubator. A startup incubator is an organization that has been designed to help startups spin off, to grow and succeed by providing a range of support services, resources, and mentorships. As a kind of services that you can expect, definitely. So first, you can receive funding from the startup incubator. Then they can provide you with office space, lab access, and they can also provide you to shared admin support. So here you have type of funding in cash, so either investment or either in terms of funding in indirect cost. What is important here is that usually the startup incubator will provide you this funding, this money in exchanges of shares in the company. When you are joining a startup incubator, then they will most of the time provide you with workshops. So usually there is a common thread within the different startups that are incubated at the same time than you. And you will also receive training about all the different aspects of the startup creation. So from how to build a team, how to develop your business strategy, how to develop your commercialization strategy, what is the how do you put in place communication that is important for the startup. From the same organization, you can definitely expect to be part of their network. They will also provide you with mentor and coaches that are very helpful to develop your startup. And finally, it's a very strong sign of credibility and recognition. It's a very good exposure for the startup when you are joining a startup incubator, especially the big ones. You are probably wondering, but why should I work with a startup incubator and give them some shares of my company? Well, numbers are saying that a super motivated warrior, so the startup with a good support, have really a lot of chance of success, many more chances of success to get a successful startup. The survival rate at 5 years with an incubator is about 97%. It's only 44% for the startup alone. When you are supported by a startup incubator, it's about 3.5 more chances to raise venture capital within the first year. And in this round of this first year, you might raise on average 1.8 million extra than without a program. And also on the top of all that, it can generate more revenues. You can have bigger team with better advantages. I'll take now a precise example, which is the DaVinci Lab, so a startup incubator that is dedicated to deep tech company, where we do help the startup that are using quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and synthetic biology to solve environmental challenges. As a startup incubator, so we have a first path where we do act as an investor. So we will join pre-seed, seed rounds. We will invest some tickets from 10 to 50K in general. And sometimes we might decide to even lead the rounds and get to bigger tickets up to 100K euros. We will also join some research project and then working with the different startups as part of this research project as the innovation manager, so where we will help them to exploit their different strategy. Part of our activities are also dedicated to raise public funding, and in particular the European instrument. So we are working together with our mother company, which is called ZAS Ventures, and it's about since over the last 10 years, we secured more than 1 billion euros from the different deep tech instruments. Finally, we do support startups to raise private fundraising alongside our own investment, but also outside of this instrument. Thank you very much. Hi everyone. So I'm Nadège Grabowski from DaVinci Labs. And now I'll present to you, so what are the first steps to build a successful biotech startup? To prepare your entrepreneurship journey, we do define 5 questions. The first one is, what problem are you solving? The second one is, what is your unique value proposition? Then is, what business model will transfer the lab to the market? Next one is, how to establish the startup financial wellness? And finally is, what resources and skills do you need to achieve your plan? Let's start with, what problem are you solving? So what you first want to do is to present the general issue. So here you really need to integrate numbers. So we really need to understand how big is the issue. It can be in terms of number of people and quantity of money that is overspent because of this type of issue. Maybe the quantity of CO2 that is being released. All these real numbers that are demonstrating a problem. Then you have to explain how current solutions are addressing this issue. It's true, sometimes we have no solution, so we are speaking about unmet needs, but most of the time you really need to think broader and really look at what type of solutions are currently working to address the problem. Very important that you take this into account. No investor will never believe you if you say that you are coming on the market where there is absolutely no solution. So it will be a red flag for any investor. Then the second question is, what is your unique value proposition? So first, you have to present the solution. And you also want to explain what are the results that you have already obtained, how strong they are. You want to determine your TRL, also called technology readiness level. So the TRL is a scale from 1 to 9 that really help any investor or any innovation actor to understand at which stage your innovation is. Then you want to determine your unique selling points, proposition. So basically, what the market need, what are you offering, and what is at the middle. You really want to run an extensive competitive analysis. So you want to say, okay, maybe they are direct competitors. So you really need to see what they are doing and really understand how they are working. And you probably also want to see the indirect competitors. Finally, you really want to determine key specific objectives, or also called SMART KPIs, that will really help any investors, any person interested in your business to understand how you are progressing. To do all these activities, a very good tool that you can use is the value proposition canvas. So this is an instrument that you can easily find on internet, and you can apply it to any type of business that you are starting and that you want to put in place. The third question that you want to answer is, what business model will transfer the lab to the market? So first, you have to determine what is your business model. It's extremely, it's a question from start. You probably, for that, you can use the business model canvas. So it's another very interesting tool that you can use and put in place for any type of business that you are developing. It will really help you to identify who are the stakeholders, what are the activities that you need to develop in the company. Then you need to run the P&L profit and loss exercise. So I'm really sorry for the people who don't like numbers, but this is absolutely needed that you understand, okay, what are the needs in terms of funding, what I will spend, and basically when I will break even, because any investors need to understand, okay, when I will stop to lose money, basically. Last step, do not forget to assess the risk because any investment is about risk, of course. So you want to assess the risk and provide very good mitigation measures. The fourth question is about how do I establish the financial wellness of my startup. So starting with that, you have to establish your fundraising strategy to determine, okay, what public funding and what private funding I'll target, what do I need and when, and then put in place your funding round. And finally, you need to determine when you will start to generate revenue. So it can even be early revenues from maybe some prototype that you can already commercialize, or really go when you are at the end and the final prototype and only go with the final big revenues that your innovation will generate. The fifth but not least question is what resources and skills do you need to achieve all your objectives? So first, in terms of co-founding team, so you probably want to go with, if you are two, 3 co-founders, you want to be complementary. So meaning that you don't want to be with someone who has exactly the same profiles than you. So if you are really oriented toward business, you probably want someone that is really oriented towards science, so you can have very complementary business. It doesn't mean that if you're a scientific person, you can't do business, not at all. You definitely can do several things and various things, but it's just like you will not have the time to do everything. So you really need to complement your the missing skills with some other people. Finally, when you will grow your team, you will act the same way. So bring the people with profiles that you do not have. That's very important. And part of growing your team is also about appointing scientific and business advisory boards with expertise, skills that you do not have on the team, but that you need from the outside. Hi everyone, so I'm Nadège from Da Vinci Labs. And now I will speak about, I will give you a short introduction about fundraising. So fundraising, investment readiness is really multi-parametric. So there are 3 things that any investor will come and check before investing in your company, which is first your team, then the company, and then the business strategy. So when you look at the team, you want to explain the number of people that is involved. Who are the co-founders? What is their profile? Do you already have employees? Do you already have boards that is in place? Do you already have external partnerships as well that is working with the company? Then you want to look at the company itself. This is where you bring the excellence, the scientific excellence. Where have you already raised funding dedicated to this excellence? Have you secured non-dilutive funding? It's extremely important to look at this aspect. Are you already generating revenues? Do you have your own labs? What is your cap table? Is the documents ready for due diligence? And the third parameter is what is the business strategy? Is there really a market opportunity, or am I developing something that no one wants? Is the business plan relevant? Is it coherent with what the market is offering? Do you have any patent or know-how, or secret know-how, or algorithm that you can protect? Have you run the competitive analysis? So all are these 3 aspects that when you go to an investor, that you really need to develop thoroughly so you can present them and defend your project. To establish your funding chart, you will go over these different steps. So the first one is about the pre-seed. So the pre-seed is usually a small amount of money, so about 100K to 500K, that will help you to validate the business idea. So you will develop a prototype and conduct an initial market research. Then you might go to the seed or directly to Series A. So that will cover the early product development, help you to test the market, optimize the product, and prepare to scale operations. Once you have consumed all this money, so you will go for the Series B. So the Series B is really here to expand the market search. So you want to go worldwide. You need to extend the team. So the Series B will really help to cover recruitments. When you start to have a very big company in hands, you'll go for Series C and beyond, D, E, or whatever. This is really about large scaling, when you want to develop a new product within your pipeline, when you want to acquire another company maybe, when you want to develop new markets. Between these different things, you may always need what we call bridge rounds. So sometimes that can come between the seeds and the Series A, or the Series A and the Series B. It can happen like if you decide to refocus your business. If you have, and it can really happen, unforeseen challenges, delays, clinical trials that do not work, prototype that wasn't ready on time, and that will be very helpful at that sense. And there is also the preparation for the last one, so the IPO, so the public acquisition. The IPO really is kind of the last step, because then at that stage the company will become public. And that really represents the exit strategy for your investors, and you will go into IPO when you need a large amount of fund. The fundraising and investment stage will depend on your TRL. So when you are at the low TRL, you can find money from the industry, the government, starting from, so on the left of the graph, so in the innovation part. And then the more you're advanced with your prototype, the more you will discover new actors. And the more you add, the more you advance, the less the technology is risked, and then you will receive more and more funding from these different actors. To explain a bit about the technology readiness level, because it's a very important parameter. Technology readiness level, or TRL, is a scale from 1 to 9. Between 1 and 3, we really are at the innovation research level. So it's kind of things that have been tested in the lab. The proof of concept is not yet there, and not be ready to be developed. Then you have between 4 and 6. It's really about demonstrating that the technology is working. And then going from 7 to 9, so 9 is commercialization. So it's really about the last step in terms of regulatory and demonstrating that the prototype is fully functionable. A few words about private funding actors. So you will reach out to business angels, venture capitalists, industry investors, and also banks that will come at different stage of your technology, and that will give you and that are used to give different amount of money within the company. The two first, so the BA and the VCs, they will invest usually in terms of exchange of capitals. The industry investors might sign a R&D contract and be paid in terms of milestone when the product is coming on the market. Thank you.